talking to you. So we figured we'd lay it on you, let you know how we feel about love. Ain't a pretty smile, yeah. Loving is a blessing, yeah.
Good evening, listening audience and Macadine family. Hoping all is well with you. Hoping all is well with you, brothers and sisters in the listening audience. As you know or don't know, I'm Camille Shabazz of Macadine University. And it's another Saturday evening in what we used to call the wilderness of North America, where we're living at a place or in a place where anything and everything goes. And if you're anything like me, at about this time and phase in my life, nothing surprises me. Nothing surprises me. But one thing that I've been counseling men on and even going through periodically here and there myself over the last couple of years has been hostile women, hostile mates, men who are with women whom they have to put restraining orders on. They're getting into actually mortal combat. It's really getting out of hand. As you would think at this time, men and women will be coming together. But just the opposite is right before our eyes. Right before our eyes. The other day, I was at a supermarket parking lot, driving through, and there was a man who was being restrained by about 4 other people from attacking this lady. And this went on for about 15 minutes. And all these bystanders just watching. So I just can't be one of those who watches someone who's weak getting ran over and getting, pummeled like she was. So I'm looking like everybody else. I'm in my truck. So I just couldn't take no more because this man wouldn't stop. And the girl had bruises on her face. And I went over there with my truck and I skidded up on them and I hit my horn. They didn't stop. And as a matter of fact, one of the girls that was in the circle ran over there and said, "What? Mind your fucking business. Mind your fucking business and get the fuck out of here. Everything's all right over here." I got the hell on. And that was a lesson learned because I could have got caught in some crossfire. But nonetheless, we have to have a degree of the spirit that is mentioned in your book of Proverbs when it says that you got to have that courage of a lion, because that's what it takes today to take on these challenges that's in our faces. You're seeing women today getting beat up in front of men. And they're not doing anything. While they're getting beat up by men. Cut in the face. All types of heinous crimes. And for any man to celebrate that is sick. And needs mental help. 1 second. So we have to be men and stand up, and stand up against any wrong that's in your midst, especially starting in your own home. Got to clean up your own home. And you got to take care and make sure your children are protected and respected. I was raised at a time when children weren't respected. But at the same time, we were taught respect. And we don't have that today. Children are indeed running their parents. They're running the show. They're running the house. They come home when they want to come home. They do what they want to do. And the mothers, for the most part, because of the fact that it's 70% to 80% in some cases of single households, the worn out mother, after a while, just becomes a carpet. They're just being walked over and stepped on, which causes her to resort to other forms of or outlets for her own personal sanity. But I'm dealing with the hostility that is rampant. The hostility is rampant, man. You got men getting murdered by their spouses, by their wives. My cousin got shot in the stomach by his girlfriend, and the fool went back. See, that's that Bobby Whitney love that we got to abandon. That's that suicidal love that ends up with murder-suicide, which is why it's so important for you to personally take care of your mental health, not just in the month of June, but every day of the year. You gotta watch yourself. You gotta watch your feelings and keep yourself under wraps. Because if you don't control yourself, someone else is. As the average human being gets between 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts from outside of him every day, the question is, how many of your thoughts are yours? Because until you govern your own thoughts, you are a slave to someone else. As well as until you can guard your mouth and guard it from those things that aren't good for your body. See, we got to be on watch, and we got to reactivate that preconscious mind that no one talks about. That's the watchman, the guard at your mental door. So how to deal with a hostile mate, a hostile wife, a hostile girlfriend who is doing hateful and spiteful things to you, up to and including physical abuse in a lot of cases. How do you deal with physical abuse? Because most men do not like to bring that up, but you have a large percentage of men, the most macho of men, who are getting physically abused. Because they know that if the police are called, even if that man holds her to stop her from hitting him, if she has any bruises on her light skin or anything, he goes to jail automatically. Especially if she starts singing the tunes that the simps and the beta males cannot resist. The damsel in distress cry. So whenever she's hostile towards you, unfortunately, you have to be the same way she would be on the flip side. Unfortunately. But you cannot ever put your hands back on a woman. You have to take it, and the best thing and the wisest thing to do is leave and never turn back around. But including with that, you should file a damn police report on her. Call it snitching, call it whatever you want to call it. But if she's being violent towards you, you're in a dangerous atmosphere. You're in a hostile environment. And hostile environments equal death, equal jail, severe violence, and continual unending abuse. So when you're in a hostile environment, the first thing you got to do is think about your personal safety. Safety first. For yourself first. You have to save yourself first. My water. And the greatest way to save yourself is to save your sanity. You have to keep your mind cool, keep your thoughts good, and keep your company clean. Keep your company, be in the midst of clean-minded people who want the best for you, who are talking about building and elevating, and not talking about the affairs of others. People who are living their purpose and striving for better. That's who you want to be in the midst of. People that you can grow around. People who are like, not fertilizer, but water. The haters are the fertilizer. They're the dung that you just got to stay away from because they get caught up under your feet. You don't want to track that hater dung up in your house. For those of you who still wear your shoes in your home. But you got to separate yourself from a hostile environment. That's imperative. Because most men, you have stuff bottled up in you that one smack in the face, one kick, one hit in the groin, one bite can literally turn you into the Incredible Hulk. It could trigger something in you. And before you know it, you're downtown wondering what the hell just happened. So, at the first signs, it's not cute for her to hit you and call you out your name when you're leaving. That's not cute. Those are signs of worse things to come, brothers. Worse things to come. So you got to keep yourself cool, calm, and collective at all times because they're after us. The black males first and all men globally, everywhere else. They want all men weak and destroyed and at their mercy. So don't be one of those. Stay in that infinite mindset that I've been talking about this whole month. Staying in the positive six, but always striving for that infinite self that's in our DNA to accomplish, to become, one with. The other day when I was talking about the green man, it was in the book of Revelations and they were talking about the emerald, the green emerald, how that is the light of the throne, and how wonderful it is and ironic it is that the emerald is what they call a octane rock, an 8-sided rock, another 8, another, confirmation of the fact that it's about that infinite mind. And I have ran across some other interesting 8 facts that correlated, with everything I was talking about. And it's in regards to the city of Thoth. And Thoth was responsible for the emerald tablets. The original tablets that were buried in Egypt. But the tablets were taken to South America by the Kemetan priests, which is why you have pyramids in South America today, which are lined up magnetically to the main one, Giza, that was built by Thoth, who's responsible for the emerald tablet, which puts us in that infinite mindset once you recognize and synchronize with the infinite mind, which will guide you to the infinite information. And I don't want to get too deep. But the Mayan calendar, which was 8 years earlier than the actual year, the calendar has 8 spokes in it. A wheel of 8 spokes. As well as the wheel of Buddha has 8 spokes. The Coptic key that they say Christ gave to the Coptic priests in Egypt has 8 spokes. And when we're born as children, fetuses, in the womb, not born, but conceived. Mitosis takes place at the 8th level. It's 8 steps to cellular mitosis, which is another 8. And another 8 that was mind-blowing is the fact that Thoth, who is the root of thought, is called the god of 8. And the city of Thoth was called the City of Eight. So these aren't coincidences, man. You know, for success today, you got to be on the right side of the fence. Keep your eye to the sky. Meditate. Practice what we teach in the Magadine, which is autosuggestion and active imagination. Got to get this mighty book. This book is right in line with everything I'm talking about. Everything I'm talking about. This book is mathematically lined up with everything I'm talking about. And what's funny is my ex, you know, in the initial stages of what I've been talking about lately, I, in my foolish state, shared some of the wisdom with her in its earlier stages. And in an argument, she said to me that I need to take my crazy formulas and get a job and become a professor at a college and get a snow bunny. And I put a love sign right by what she said, because a good woman is a good woman. And I don't, you know, what they call dick patrol nobody. Anybody, love who you love. And love who loves you. And love is an action word. You know, everybody plays with that word. And I love you. I love you. You don't know what the hell love is. Your love is nothing but a Trojan horse for hate. And that's why it ends up in the pronunciation of love pronounced backwards, which is evil. That fake love produces evil. But the true agape love produces evolve, which is short for evolution. Like Stevie Wonder said, when she gives you love not to make you weak, but to make you strong. If she's not breathing life and confidence and hope and inspiration in you, she is technically your enemy. Even if she don't mean it, she is technically that, because you have no support system. And then if she is arguing with you and hostile on top of that, you already coming out of a world of hate that's against you. Then you got to come in and fight the war against the one that's supposed to be your loved one, your wife, the one who's supposed to be riding with you like Bonnie and Clyde. But we know that's not what's going on today. It's not going on. So you have to be on guard. You don't want to be too on guard where you all rigid and stiff. Exercise, emote. I have a heavy bag out there. When I feel that I got to get some stress off, I go out there and tear that bag up. That's called emoting. Emoting. You're taking that negative emotional energy that you want to smack the shit out of somebody, whatever you want to do. Whatever that lower carnal mind was telling you to do, you can take it out. You know, trying to look at, what's the word? Constructively. You can take it out constructively in a way that's going to be beneficial to your health, physically and mentally. So on that note, that's how you deal with the hostile enemy. You leave them the hell alone, and when they violate your person or your property, you take them to the zookeepers. You let the zookeepers handle them. Let them deal with them with the fines, the time in jail, whatever you present to them. But do not put your hands on no woman, no man, unless your life is in jeopardy. Because self-preservation is the first law of nature. Have a wonderful evening. Salute and peace.